I just want to say thank you to Bonfire for letting us film in this studio today. Go to bonfire.com.au for a free no obligation consult today. The biggest goal with the pod at the moment is to be more conversational.
Yeah.
Because like you've got 60 minutes, you've got like news channels and stuff, formal interviews.
Yeah.
Like a podcast, the place for a podcast is conversational.
Conversations, exactly, yeah.
You're going for a run, you're going for a walk, you're at work. Like that's kind of the time where people will listen to their podcasts.
Yeah.
So it's like you don't want to listen to something really hard to digest that's really structured. I feel like the conversations make it easier to listen.
I absolutely agree.
So that's kind of like the shift of the pod over the last couple of months and the direction I'm taking it.
Oh, good.
And as well as like Crooked Smile, authentic.
Yes.
It's like an authentic conversation. That's the brand.
100%, yeah.
Do you want to know something crazy?
Go
on. So a month after we'd started the pod and picked the name, someone sent my girlfriend that sent me the Scottish translation of Campbell. Cam in Scottish is crooked / rye and Buell in Scottish is mouth. Campbell, because it's a Scottish name. The translation in Scottish is like wry mouth, crooked mouth.
Oh my goodness.
Crooked smile. So it's like
it's meant to be.
Yeah, I don't believe in star signs and that stuff, but like it almost is meant to be. But yeah, when was the last time you came on? This is number 3.
This is number 3, yeah. It would have been at your place.
My mum's house.
Yeah, your mum's house, yeah. And it would have been just before or just after I won. No, it was just after I won.
Was it January?
No.
Or was it
it would be either December or January.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Obviously a lot has happened in that time. Recently you posted across some of your socials kind of the health transformation you've been on and the journey from that and how you kind of were go and then had a bit of a scare and it's kind of sparked a new you in a way.
Yeah, I think I've always been someone, I think we were talking about this earlier, like I was also a yes man. And I think anything that came to do with making people happy and doing all that kind of thing, I was like, yep, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I never thought about myself one bit, whether it be in my professional career, playing cricket or my friendships or families, it's always them first. It's always, what can I do to make this world better? And so, at that time was, history money had shot up through the roof. Between 21, 22, 2023, it just went through the roof and it became this beast that I underestimated how big it would get in terms of its commitment, in terms of having to be continuously creative, mentally exhausting, physically exhausting. On top of, my core job is being a teacher. Full-time job, you commit to that 40, 50, sometimes 55 hours a week because you're teaching in the classroom 6-7 hours in a day. You are prepping, you are engaged, you're in meetings, you're having one-on-one conversations, professional development, all that kind of thing. And then on top of that, I've been treasurer of my career club for the last 10, 11 years. So when I started Bedford Morley Career Club, I was 17, 18, and a year later I was in the committee. A year after that I was vice president. From vice president, I became president, then I became treasurer. And so the whole time is, even after the school year's finished, I'd be straight into summer cricket. Cricket was my second job, and then history and money became my third job. So when I was having that discussion with a few people after everything had happened, it was like I was practically working 3 full-time jobs in the summer. So, teaching, running history and money, helping run the career club. And when you are passionate about 3 things, and I think obviously 2 of the things I'm more passionate than the third, but you spread yourself way too thin. And because, like I said earlier, you always think about other people, you don't think about yourself. And I think what happened was I never realized how much I had let myself go physically. And that had been happening probably since I started teaching. I look at photos of me before teaching to that point I was last July when I ended up in hospital. It'd been pretty scary. And so when I ended up in hospital, it was a weird period of time. Like term 2 had finished and I was at Newman College then. I'm not there now. Busy, crazy term. I went away interstate, and then I came back and I did a course I did a financial literacy course. I delivered it for someone had hired me to do that. So I did that because I was paying money. Great, awesome. Money, cred, et cetera, et cetera. It means that I can diversify history money. Awesome. And then the Perth Money Expo was on. So the coin collecting thing, that national coin collecting expo that happens, they have one in every state, every city. I was helping setting up my mates, Matt, who coordinates the event. I was helping him set up, my other mates, and doing all that. And I noticed that weekend of the expo that my body wasn't right. I had pains around my stomach area, fever, whatnot. I remember sitting Sunday, I was at the Coin Expo, I'm just sitting down on a chair and I was like, something's completely not right. I've just got no energy, no movement, nothing. And so Monday, I was just like, I need to go to a doctor. I need to just check where I'm at, do these things. I'm not well. So I went to a doctor. My normal doctor wasn't available. And it's weird because my doctor's in Hillary's and my dentist is in Kwinana and I'm in like Morley. So two very wide paths. But when you got an area or person that you go to and trust, you're just going to go to them regardless where they are. So I went there. My normal doctor wasn't available, but there's another guy that was there who was a younger guy, but he very passionate about what he was doing and very good in terms of his manner. So I said, okay, what's going on? I said, fever and this. And it's like, and I said, not fever. I said, oh, no, stomach pains and whatever. I said, have you got this? And he was like, no. Then he checked. It's like, oh, your fever's 40 degrees. I was like, really? I was like, I didn't feel like I had a fever. And I was probably downing Panadols across those few days to try and calm things down and whatever. And yeah, he said, okay, I want to get some bloods done. I want you to do an ultrasound on your stomach area because I think you might have a gallbladder issue or you might have an issue with your liver. We're just going to check that right now. So immediately got an ultrasound down, got the blood test done, and then he calls me 3:00 in the afternoon. It's like, you need to go to hospital. Your CRP number, your infection number is way too high. Usually it sits around between 0 and 2. It was at 130. I'm just like, oh, okay. And I'd never been, apart from the time I was born, I'd never been in hospital, right? I hadn't broken a bone, touch wood, hadn't done any of that stuff. And okay, so I was very nervous. So I drove straight to Hollywood Hospital, checked myself in emergency. Referrals came through and everything, and I was there the next 6-7 hours was stressful. It was blood test after CT scan, every test they could do under the sun, and then they're like, we can't find anything, but we're going to get our infectious diseases specialist on, and we need you to stay overnight to get more bloods done and see where you're at. We just need to see your fever's still off the charts, your CRP number has lowered a little bit, but still not great. So we're just going to keep you in overnight, get more bloods done, and then it'll probably be another day after that. So more bloods after more bloods and tests and, just sitting there playing the waiting game in hospital and your life just starts flashing by. You're like, how did I get myself to this point, right? So the next day, so I stayed the whole entire day, and then the next day, the specialist comes in again. He's like, everything seems to be all clear. I think you've literally just burnt yourself out to the worst possible level and that your body just can't cope anymore. And physically, the way that you are, I don't see yourself being able to continue the lifestyle that you're continuing right now. You really need to lose that weight and putting the health and focus on yourself in that. I was like, yeah, fair. And, the whole time through your life, you're like, your friends and your family support you and all that kind of thing, and they don't bring it up. I know my parents have brought it up quite a bit, but sometimes when someone nags at you the whole time, it just becomes noise. I think it's like, like for example, like you might have been at school and someone just tells you something and you're just like, yeah, whatever. You don't realize they are looking out for you and they are seeing the issue, but if you keep just making it noise and not looking at the right way or helping communicate that in the right way, people will just pull away and not listen to you in that. So luckily I saw my normal doctor a couple of days later, had that already booked in and everything. So I went and saw him and it's like, okay. Yeah, he's like, you need to lose the weight or you're going to die very soon. And that hit hard. It hit really, really hard. And so we looked at some options and all that kind of thing, but essentially like you just need to radically change the lifestyle you're doing and you need to put yourself first and foremost. So it came to a range of not treatments, but things that I was doing. So exercising very, very regularly, right? And so I was doing that and started slow and kept doing that. and this is controversial, and started on an Ozempic, right? We all know it's been in the media, it's been popularized and all that kind of thing, but started on that stuff as well. And then, just eating better and healthier, and then also using my psychologist better. I've been seeing my psychologist for a long time now. I was dealing with other stuff, with, professional relationships at work and, friendships and whatever stuff that you sort of deal with at an emotional level with your psychologist. But it's like, then this time you need to really deal with the deeper issues at why I got myself to the point I got myself into.
I just want to say a massive thanks to our sponsors for today's show, Proactive Health. Go to proactivehealthgroup.com.au for a free health newsletter where you will get weekly information on sleep, diet, and exercise with actionable steps and simple science behind it to improve your day-to-day life. All you need is an email to sign up, and it's absolutely free. Go to proactivehealthgroup.com.au today. I'll jump in quickly here because that's awesome context to start with.
Yeah.
I guess in a way, your go, everything from a surface level in terms of your professional life, what you're doing with the cricket club, the history of money and your job, teaching, like it's all going well. Like it's all flying. You're saying yes to everything. You're getting all these new opportunities, but at the same time, you're at rock bottom with your health. So it's just this massive contrast between externally what you're doing, what you're seeing on a day-to-day basis is so different to internally what's going on. And like it takes such a like tragic or like hardship to be able to realize that, like being in hospital overnight and them telling you like if you don't change something, you're not going to live much longer.
That's pretty much exactly it. And I think in that point you look at how are you supposed to give your best to everything when you're not your best physically? And that was really hard. And that made me reflect really is like, am I being the best I can as a teacher? Am I being the best I can at the history of money? Am I being the best I can at, being involved and playing cricket? And at the point, I was involved in the club, but I hadn't actually played cricket for a full season at least 5 years at that point because I'd just been doing everything. At the cricket club, I wasn't just being treasurer. I was being social media coordinator, bar, stocker, just running around doing things and that because I thought that made people happy. But I think deep down, and when I look at it later on, I was miserable. I was really, really miserable because I wasn't my best physically. And that wouldn't allow me to hit the points I really wanted to hit. I don't know. Think about from your perspective of me. Like I taught you, for a couple of years.
6 years ago?
6 years ago, exactly. Like, I don't know, from the outside, you probably wouldn't have picked those things. You probably knew what I was physically, but you probably wouldn't have picked me struggling in scenarios because I was always focusing on the best in other people. So I was doing all those things and trying to be what I could be for my students, for my colleagues, and everything else. But I realized that when after that whole hospital thing happened and being, that's probably where I felt was rock bottom. I might be achieving things great on the surface, but physically and I guess emotionally after that point, I was absolute rock bottom. And it's you're literally at the bottom of the hill and you're trying to reach that very top of it. And it feels like you're starting all over again. And so it's the point where you sort of hit that fork in the road where do I make the change or do I just give up? And I think for me, giving up was never going to be an option in that because I knew whilst I had to do it for myself, even the head was still like, look at all the other people that you're going to be letting down if you just suddenly started to disappear in the next couple of years or few years or so, So yeah, I really kicked into gear. And I think it really helps having a good support network behind you to really talk about the experiences you had and really leveraging on that help that they can give you as well. I think it came to a point, it's like I've been the one helping all my friends and family and colleagues and whoever out the entire time. And I rarely asked for anything back. And I think that's the thing where the biggest part of it was a big struggle at the start was reaching out to the friends and family too close to me. It's like, hey, can you help me with this? Hey, do you want to join me on a walk? Hey, can I talk to you about X, Y, Z? Can I talk to you about, it's just being able to really verbalize it openly and without getting it stuck in your head. Yeah, that's it. It gets lonely. And rather than being the only person I talked to about stuff was my psychologist and I only see her once a month, what I'm going to do for the other 30 days of the month and what, try and talk it out by myself. And so, yeah, my friends really helped me big time in terms of, I'll join you in a walk. Well, let's do this. Well, let's do that. Have you considered this? Have you been thinking about this? And yeah, a lot of people can give you opinions and a lot of people can give you stuff that, and not all opinions are good and all thoughts are good or whatever, but I'm pretty good and self-aware enough to know what's good and what's not in terms of the feedback that I was getting and all that kind of thing.
I think the friends part's really important. Like, to me, how I define a good friend is not someone that you can just spend time with or someone that's like, will go out with you on the weekend. To me, like, a friend is someone that's willing to grow with you as a person. It's someone that's going to be there for you no matter what, even if you do the right or wrong thing. Like, for example, I could have a friend who could do something really, really bad, like morally or ethically. Yeah. To me, that doesn't mean that I can no longer be their friend. To me, as their friend, I think then it's my job to be there for them to make sure they don't do it again. Like, that's how I would define as friendship.
I absolutely agree. And like, you think about the friends that you've had from the very beginning to where they are now. Are they the same person?
No, everyone changes.
Everyone changes.
But that's the thing. It's growing together.
And I think that's it. And I've got the friends I've had from high school. My best friends from high school who've now been friends for 21 years now. I've got friends who I've made through, being in the professional world and through university and other things, and they just grow with you. And I think some of the biggest inspirations I've had in the last 12 months have been my direct friendship group, my direct friends, in terms of things that they've been doing to grow in their lives and trying things and whatever. Because, it's hard because when you're someone physically the point they are, I think I'm fortunate to have friends who've never really been through what I've been through. And initially I thought to myself, they're not going to understand. They don't understand what it's like to be obese. Let's call a spade a spade. I was practically obese at that point. And so they're not going to understand. They don't do that. It's like, no, your friends can still empathize with you and still support you, even though they've not experienced the same things that you do. And they're going to give you different viewpoints to look about and different points of view and thoughts about it, So they've been very, very big in helping me out. And I think, is it a reinvestment in me after I put all the time of it? Yeah, great. It might be. But friendships aren't also transactional either. If you start counting one thing and treating your friends like a bank account and looking at debits and credits and whatever, then you're never going to have fulfilling friendships that are going to help you in those difficult times and all that kind of thing. It's that you're there to grow together and you support each other when you need it and you celebrate the wins and you celebrate and you not celebrate losses, but you support them through those losses in that. And so the journey from leaving hospital and starting to take the medication, and the first 3 months were hard. They were difficult.
This is what I'm super fascinated about. Just two really quick things before we get into this, because I'm super interested in this whole thing. But one of the people that's been on a lot on this show, Dr. Lloyd Evans, his favorite saying is being selfish to be selfless. So it's being selfish to look after yourself, to make sure you're the best version of yourself, so then you can be selfless and give everyone around you 100%. The best version of yourself. The other thing I was going to say is, and this is like a relationship thing that I've even spoken with my girlfriend about, is, to me, a relationship, life's highs and lows. There's always going to be highs, there's always going to be lows. To me, it's not about us working out and being great when we're at our highs. To me, what defines the relationship is being there for each other when we're at our lowest, regardless of whether it has anything to do with us or something else. But when you're at your lowest, that's when, to me, the purpose of a relationship is to be there for each other so you're not alone. Like, yeah. But side note, but I'm really interested in kind of, you've hit rock bottom, you're at hospital.
Yeah.
The doctors have all told you this.
Yep.
I feel like getting started would have been that hard. Just taking that first step. Like, how do you process it? How do you, in the nitty gritty of your day to day, from then kind of get moving?
Yeah, I think the first point was go to where I enjoyed being active the most. And I think for me, and I think symbolically for people in Perth, I think the sign of being active is Optus Stadium. And this sounds so weird, but I've been to so many events there, footy, I'm a Dockers member, you've seen cricket, rugby league, union, whatever, right? And back in 2020, I tried to give being active a bit more of a shot. And what I used to do was just start at Optus, walk around the river and see how long that would take me. So I did. I went back, I drove there, parked my car at the campfield and just started walking. And didn't try to go hard or whatever. I'm just going to walk, right? And, first walk was 3.6 Ks, right? It's better than nothing. So I did it. And I was like, can I do this again tomorrow? Got my car, drove back, did it again. Got my car, drove back, did it again. And what ended up being one day ended up being 1 week. But also understanding I can't also continue this every day. I've got to be able to. And so this is where, later on when you start building the habits and building, and people talk about building habits and doing things 17 times in a row to call it a habit and all that kind of thing. And someone who's data driven as well, like initially you looked at that stuff, but also stuff the numbers.
It's about showing up.
It's about showing up and being consistent. And I think that's something I haven't been really well at doing my entire life, was being consistent. But I also knew at this point in time, is like, you got to be consistent and do something and just be there. And so I did. I just kept walking and walking and walking. And, by the point now, I think I used to be walking 3.5 Ks in one go. I'm now doing 8 to 10 in one go.
Awesome.
Because I just did. I just kept going and start pushing myself a little bit and start pushing myself a little bit and start pushing myself. Great. Awesome. So between August, September, and September led into the start of cricket season. And I was like, the season before, I was actually pretty sad about not being out there with my mates. I was like, they're all out there playing, and I'm just like, taking photos and doing the scoring and setting up the afternoon teas and whatever. But there was something different about being in a team, playing cricket with friends. Like, who on earth decides in their right mind that it's a great idea to spend 7 hours in the summer standing out there in the heat, throwing a ball around and hitting the ball? Not alone. Not alone, exactly. So you only ever play cricket is one of those games where you agree to play with your mates. You'd be silly enough to do it, or you're getting paid millions of dollars. I mean, you're playing the IPL or whatever,
Yeah.
But so I was like, I really need to embrace this thing again, because you're going to get another band of guys with you who are going to support you on that journey as well. So the walking became more and more consistent, and then the cricket became So last season, and because I track a lot of things, I only missed one cricket session the entire season. Never mind, I didn't think that would be possible, but I enjoyed it because professionally, still things weren't as great as I hoped, which led into a change of jobs over the summer break.
Are you at St Hilda's?
I'm at St Hilda's now, and it's been really awesome at there. But being able to have a hard day at work and then going to cricket training after on a Tuesday, Thursday made a huge difference emotionally. So you're being there, you get to be with your mates, bowl the ball, hit around, all that kind of thing, have a laugh, have a joke, go back to the club rooms, have a meal or whatever. Awesome, because you're being physically active, but you're also being emotionally active. I don't know if it makes sense, but I'm emotionally active and building your relationships with people. And
it's community.
Exactly. It's community. That's it. And I think a lot of us have forgotten what the meaning of a community is in that. And I think I'm very lucky to have that cricket community around me in doing so. So the physical stuff just ended up being doing one and then doing another and then doing another. And then friends would come in and join me. But the thing I didn't realize doing through all this and sort of documenting that, I guess either through bits and pieces on History Money and being transparent, because I gave History Money a big pause at the end of last year. So for about 3 months, I just barely posted anything for 3 months between October and January, because that wasn't a priority for me. Because the point was I couldn't keep spreading myself at the rate I was going at. So something had to give. It was like, do I give up my work? I can't give up my work. It's my livelihood. So you got to do that. And I've got to make it in a way that even if I wasn't enjoying my livelihood, you still got to make it work for you, right? You just can't mope and be sad about it and whatever. Do what you can to make it work for you, right? I'm not going to give up my social life, and I'm not going to give up my cricket life. History Money, I know, and when I was giving updates on my socials and to 80,000 people that follow me on Insta and whatever, I was like, TikTok I don't really focus much on anymore. But there's 80,000 there at least on Insta that still listen to what I say. And they're like, we don't care if you post once a day, or we don't care if you post once a month. We're still going to be here. So at least I knew that. They're just like, cool. You guys can be here. Just give me time. I'll be back to be able to give my best self to you. Again, like I said, being selfish to be selfless. So yeah, doing all that, physically worked out, and I couldn't believe what I was achieving. And it's so much that, yeah, I might be walking most times. I was looking at the stats before I was in hospital. The year before I was in hospital, I was averaging 4,500 steps a day. terrible, right? And I was pretty much mostly teaching. Since I was in hospital, I'm averaging 10,500 steps a day.
That's awesome.
Walking, which is insane.
10's like really great if you hit 10 every day.
Yeah. And like, I know 10, like people say 10,000 steps a day is a fallacy, but I think for me, it's like.
No, it's not. It's not. It's not. I'm really into all this stuff. I do a lot of reading and 10,000 is really good. Yeah. Really good for you.
Really good. Yeah. So, but I'm looking like my VO2 numbers gone up and my, and all that kind of thing is great. But then now I'm like, okay, what can I do to push myself further? And I think this is where the biggest challenge I'm facing now, because you sort of stagnate in that weight loss kind of thing. So I look at, so going a year ahead and, I saw my doctor last week. So it's literally the 1 year anniversary I ended up in hospital, right? Liver function, fine. Kidney function, fine. Blood pressure, fine. Blood sugar, fine. CRP number, first time it's ever been normal. It's below 2, which was like, what on earth is going on here?
Congratulations.
But it means that I'm still overweight. But it means that there's still scope for me to do. I've lost 40 kilos. I'm down 10 inches on my waist. I'm down 3 shirt sizes.
The money jump is gone.
The money jump is that's why I'm not wearing it today, because it's like, it's symbolic. I love it and it'll do something with it. Maybe
frame it.
Someone said frame it. Maybe just cut it up and make trading cards out of it. I don't know.
Frame it. You got to frame that. Frame it for your kids one day.
Yeah. I think it's this idea of maintenance in terms of, okay, what do you do? What do you have to do now to maintain your life to hit the next level? Because I saw my doctor 2 weeks before that and I actually hadn't lost any weight in 2 weeks. But I just came back from Sydney and walked 65 Ks in 4 days. And I was walking hills and I was doing all that stuff. And he's like, why are you so focused on the numbers? I said, because I need to get to this point to be the best self. It's like, you don't need that to be best self. Like, okay, what's different about your life? And this is what GP said. And shout out to Bernie Krieg, and he's amazing. He's at Hillary's Medical Center. He said to me, okay, are you fitter? I was like, yes. How much are you walking now? I said, 8 Ks a day. He's like, what were you walking before? 0. When we look at that, right?
It's progress.
Exactly. He said to me, what else are you noticing? I said, I'm not using a belt extender on my flights anymore. I said, there you go. He said, what happened in Sydney? He's like, I walked the biggest hill in North Sydney without losing my breath. And I was like, so shouldn't those be your indicators of success and not look at the numbers? Like, yeah, the numbers are going to be important to a degree. It's going to give us signs of where you're going. But what's the outcome that you're looking for? And are you doing all those things? And he's like saying to me, it's not telling you that I'm asking you to stop focusing on numbers or stop exercising. It's like, keep exercising, keep monitoring your health, keep eating well, because this journey is going to be a lot longer than you want it to be, and you should be fine with that. Because you see people, and I don't have anything against people who have lap band surgery and all that kind of thing. That's the solution, and that's what the point want to get, and great, and whatever. But my doctor's like, way that you're doing it, it's more sustainable, it's healthier. And yeah, it might take you 2.5 years to get to that point.
It's going to last though. When you build it up over a certain period of time, then you've built the foundation to make it last. Whereas if it's an overnight success, then it will go away overnight. I mean, look at the Haley Welch podcast, the Talk Tour podcast. It's overnight success and it's gone. That's gone. That's it. Try to create your own Bitcoin out of it, try your own crypto out of it, and just con people of money. And that's another discussion for another time. But yeah, I don't know. I think, and obviously I'm not a doctor, but I think the best way I can summarize that is it's not so much about the numbers on the day-to-day, but it's about the relationship with what you're doing and yourself. So if you build a healthy relationship with exercise where you're doing it for the right reasons, if you build a healthy relationship with food where it's not so much I've got to hit this exact calorie number a day, but it's I've got all these really high quality healthy foods that are high in satiety, they'll fill me up without the extra caloric deficit or whatever. Exactly. So it's healthy relationships with what you're doing, and those is what's going to help you build the foundation for it to last.
100%. And I think it's having that healthy and positive relationship in what you're doing with everything that you do in life. It's like, do I have a healthy relationship with work? Do I have a healthy relationship with my family? Okay, what's great about this? And so food, you know me, I've always loved food. Food is great. I'll talk about the best restaurants around, whatever. But what's great about this is that I can still enjoy the good things in life, but I'm doing the things in my life to support that now as well. So doing the exercise, being active, playing sport, and all that kind of thing in that. And so as I look at across that journey over the last 12 months, I've been like, And I think personally, if I look at me right now, I'm always like, oh, what can I do to next step? What can I do to next step? What can I do next step? And I think because of that, I'm never internally fully happy with it because, I need to be doing this thing. But then my friend sent me a meme the other day and it says in this meme, and it says, you're going to be continuously unhappy because you're always raising the bar. And you don't look back at what you've achieved in the past. You don't look at what you've done and achieved. And you don't look at the journey. And so I look at the journey now. It's like, cool, I started at the bottom of the mountain. I might not be at the top yet, but I'm probably more than halfway up that mountain because I've done the work. And you look down at that mountain and see how far you've come.
It's only going to get easier.
It's only going to get easier. That's it, And so, yeah, it's so...
Momentum is a crazy thing like that, hey?
Yeah, and I don't know how I've managed to. This is probably the longest period of my life I've carried momentum for. I can't believe it.
But
honestly,
you never realize the momentum you've built until you're out of it.
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying. Where it's like I'm not realizing all this progress I've made, and I really need to stop and reflect on that because that's the momentum, and you're not going to realize that until you lose it, and you don't want to lose it. So that's kind of like the double-edged sword of momentum.
That's 100%. And I think the other day, last week, I felt really sad about things because my weight loss is slowing. It's not stopping; it's slowing, and I don't know if I'm burning enough calories when I'm exercising, whatever. I'm just like, just stop. You've done a lot already. You can keep doing what you're doing because you're still going to maintain where you're at, which is fine. But what's something that you can change to make things exciting again? So I did. So I said, all right, I'm going to try walking the hills in my suburb. And then I did it. And I did all 3 hills that I hadn't walked since high school, that they are big, steep hills. And honestly, the first time I did it, I thought I was going to die after the 3rd big hill. And I was like, but then I looked back, I looked down the hill and was like, I just did that. And then I went back home and I looked at how many calories I burnt. I was like, I've burnt more calories in a 4K walk using 3 hills than I did an 8K flat walk. Oh, okay, this is a way to start intensifying what I'm going to do. But I'm also looking for I start pre-season in 2 weeks' time, and I know I'm going to do some interval sprints in the meanwhile to get ready because I'm going to I'm transitioning into becoming a batsman instead of bowler because I'm getting old. My knees are cooked, right? So I can't really, bowl as fast as I used to.
Or even just standing for 7 hours is really good for you. Like we've got standing desks here at work, and if you stand as opposed to sitting, you're burning 15% more calories from standing alone.
So there you go.
That compounds every hour that you stand.
Oh, that's it. And when it comes to teaching, I love standing because I've got standing desks at work, stand there, teach, walk around, do that kind of thing. You actually end up burning enough calories during the day, if you're an active teacher doing that, you're going to be burning more calories. But I didn't realize how much me being healthier has improved my teaching practice as well. So much more. Like, you'd probably say I was a good teacher.
Yeah. Well, this is what I was going to say. Yeah. How transferable is this to other areas of your life?
Massive. It is the freedom the freedom that I've gained now physically has now transitioned into my professional life. That the energy I have is nowhere near than what I've ever started. Probably not since I've started teaching 12 years ago. So I look forward to get into class and I'm prepared. I'm getting ready for work and I'm going in and I'm teaching and I'm having fun, telling jokes and being passionate about what I'm sharing and walking around the classroom and getting engaged. I feel like I'm hitting more points in the classroom now. I feel like I'm engaging more students than ever. I was always engaging. But I think I've just transcended another level in that to the point that maybe I'm actually now enjoying my teaching a lot more, right? In terms of it sort of reinforces I'm meant to be here and I'm good at what I do, but I'm now becoming better.
Now you can show up.
I can show
the
up.
Person that you're meant to be.
And I can show up consistently. Is that and that. And I think the same with History Money is like, cool, I'm back with History Money and and I've put fixed parameters around because I can say if History Money closes down tomorrow or ends for whatever reason, I don't care. So it's like, cool, I'm doing 1 video a week. I'm recording 1 30-second, 1 minute video. I'm putting it out on a Sunday. People are still engaging with it. People are still liking it. I post my stories every so often. Awesome. Whatever. But people have noticed, the fact that, people just messaging you and saying, I love the journey you've taken, or look how happier you are, or look how much healthier you are, or look how glowing you are. I was like, I'm not pregnant, but I know what they meant, So to be consistent in the most base thing and building that up to lead you to be more consistent in other things in life has been huge. And I didn't expect that to be a byproduct out of what I was trying to do. I was just focused on not dying, you know? Yeah. My initial goal was do not die next year. And it's like, no, I'm not going to die anytime soon. But the fact that I'm now enjoying being in the classroom and I'm enjoying doing history of money and I'm enjoying being around my friends and even dating has seemed to be a lot easier this year, you know?
Like, be more confident as well.
Being more confident. That's it. And getting to really be authentic. I've always felt I've always been authentically me, but this feels like I've been shy about certain aspects of I'm being more confident without being egotistic or narcissistic or whatever. It's like I'm still self-aware. I still have emotional intelligence. I still have those things, but I'm starting to reach my potential. What I could always be, you know? So
it's very David Goggins-esque. Like, as in, like, obviously there's the differences, but like, because I've read his book and it's like he was 300 pounds.
Yeah.
And when he like hit rock bottom, he was like sitting in front of like a screen, like working like night shifts as a pest control. 300 pounds, was having like milkshakes every day, and he's sitting in front of the screen, and this Navy SEALs ad came on, and that was kind of his rock bottoms. He saw all of them, and he's like, I've got to fix my life. I'm going to be a Navy SEAL, like if it's the last thing I do.
Far out.
And then he literally started the next day, and he tried to go for a run. He got like 200 meters, and then like couldn't move anymore, and like then the next day he did it, and then the next day, and he talks about it in the book, and that process from going not even being able to run down to the end of the block, to then being like doing David Goggins things.
Exactly,
because he was 300 pounds.
Far out.
And look at him now. He's like jacked and all of that. He never did any surgery or anything like that. And he's very, very hardcore. But he's talked about it a lot in his podcast, is like his number one fear is being on his deathbed and like saying, what if? Like I didn't reach my full potential, like all of this because I just gave up. Yeah. And it's really inspirational, I guess. One of the things I want to talk about is kind of like the effect that just kind of like the proactive things in your life that you can do to kind of make everything else better. So, and this is a sidetrack again from when we were talking about friends before, but do you remember Max Bailey from Scotch?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
So like we were always friends, but we were never like good friends, not in the same friend groups at school. But we both were going to the Claremont Revo gym like the couple of first years out of school at the same 5 a.m. like in the mornings and stuff. So we're like, realized we're pretty similar people, doing that consistently. And then like the gym closed down for some renovations. And then we're like, oh, well, what are we going to do? Like we weren't even going to the gym together, but we both like, well, we've been going here, so we're going to have to find something to do through the winter. So we ended up running along the Freo train line through Claremont, on a Tuesday, Thursday morning, twice a week. And never really hung out before, like seen each other a few times at the gym, and both kind of realized, oh, what are we going to do? Let's just do this together. From doing that together on a Tuesday, Thursday morning and just like running for an hour together, chatting, like you really get to know someone.
Yes.
And we realize how similar we are. And that, to the point now where we're quite good friends. We're starting and working on like a small business together on the side. And like, but that wouldn't have happened like during school. Like I never would have thought that. And this is like the friendship growth thing, is like we've both realized like who we are, we're similar, and we both want to like grow together and like we both want to build something together. And just that alone has made us so close. And like what we're working on is this thing called Proactive Health, where it's starting off as a newsletter that we've been doing, but we eventually want to get into products where it's sleep, diet and exercise, all proactive advice, all really low barrier to entry, clear science on why it's good for you, why it's healthy. And that's why I'm really interested in all this stuff. But it's like, and this is what I'm getting to, is sleep, diet and exercise. If you can nail those three things proactively, they will eliminate majority of issues that people face, like health-wise. And not only will they make you physically better, but the mental relationship and just the net positive on your life from getting 8 hours of sleep, try and have less ingredients in your food so it's more whole foods, and then that makes it high satiety food. So then you're not on a, like, you're not over chronically, what's the word, chronic caloric, opposite of deficit. You know,
surplus.
Chronic surplus of calories. And then exercise, even if it's just going for a walk once a day. It doesn't, like, movement's medicine. Like, it doesn't have to be going to the gym or doing a run to start with. You can go at your own pace, but it's just even just getting outside in the morning, what it does with the serotonin from the sun. Like,
go outside and touch some grass, you know?
Go outside and touch some grass, but it actually works.
It does work.
It actually works.
It works.
Like hippie or not, it works. But just focusing on those 3 things alone, like can change your life.
100%.
And like because I'm doing the business with Max, I kind of have to embody like the principles we're doing.
Yes, of course.
Like, I've been doing those things, and like honestly, it makes me so much happier as a person on a day-to-day basis. Like it allows me to show up and enjoy what I'm doing. And this is what I talked about on the solo I did before, because my guest didn't show up and ghosted me this morning. But I do support work with kids with autism.
Oh, brilliant.
Just on the side. Yeah. And I'm only doing it with one family at the moment for one kid, just on a Wednesday afternoon. Yeah. We went to Bounce this like Wednesday afternoon that just passed. And we're at Bounce, and like he's 14, so he's starting to grow. Like I think he's nearly taller than me now. I've been with him nearly a year, and great kid. But we're at Bounce, and I saw this other younger kid that was probably 5 or 6, and I think he either had Down syndrome or autism or something, some sort of disability. And he's like a young kid just on the trampoline, and just bouncing up and down on the trampoline, like the joy on his face at how happy he was. Yeah. Over the simplest thing of just bouncing 100%. Up and down on the trampoline as a kid. Like, and I talked about it in length in the episode before this, but like it had such an impression on me because I've never, like it's the happiest I've seen someone in years. And it was some kid that's maybe not going to get the opportunities other people are going to get for whatever genetic factors, which is really sad. But to be able to be happier than everyone else over the simplest thing, like to me, that's really left an impression on like, what is this all about? Like at the end of the day, like if you're not happy and you're not enjoying your day to day, are you really living? Like you got to be able to be present and just enjoy the simplest of things. And I don't know, that's really like seeing a 6-year-old kid who's got disabilities bouncing on a trampoline and being happier than anyone I've seen in 2 years kind of speaks to where society's at.
It brings perspective, you know?
And it just, I kind of feel bad that I'm wasting that and like with all the opportunities I have and not enjoying it. So like I'm trying to make a massive like shift of being able to enjoy everything I'm doing on a day-to-day basis.
And I think that's the same thing is that when I started out this journey, it was just like, okay, what's going to spark joy in me right now? From being the lowest point, it's not going to take much to spark a little bit of joy in you. So starting those walking around Optus Stadium and just sort of seeing like, you know, taking a photo of a sunset by the Swan River. Brilliant. You know, it's nice. And then sort of walking and then, you know, listening to your favorite podcast and listen to your favorite music and yes, your Quick Smile podcast. Yeah, sure.
Sorry.
No, but what are the little things I like, you know, to bring joy? And then that fulfillment at the end of it. Oh, you know, I've done this. It's great. I've got to see this around. I've got to be around nature. I've got to be doing those things. Or, you know, I've got to see. So one of my mates, Mick, he recently moved from Queensland. He lives in WA now with his girlfriend. And he's like, oh, can I join you on a walk? I love what you're doing. He used to run a lot, especially when he used to live in Bundaberg and stuff. And so he'd come with me and we walk and we talk and we, you know, and you get to build friendships out of that. And that brings more joy. I can spend good quality time with a friend and that makes you happy. And then, you know, eating good food, like eating good, healthy food that's not as processed and fresh. And it's like, oh, this tastes really good. But I guess you're absolutely right about being present in what you're doing. And not being distracted, you know, with your devices and all that kind of thing and trying to get that instant validation. Like good things take time. And I think people just want good things immediately to get that quick serotonin dose on them. And it's like, oh, you know, let's get this done. Let's get this under
dopamine hit.
Sorry, that dopamine hit. And so you're like, but then the come down is huge. So how do you build sustainability and build that consistency into build
increase that baseline of dopamine.
Exactly.
So it's not just a spiking.
And so and I look at it and I've been tracking my moods on my phone lately in terms of 2 times a day it tracks, you know, how do I feel? And over the last 3 months, like it's been consistently good because I'm doing the basics. I'm sleeping 8 hours a day. You know, my alarm's set for I start at 10, everything goes away half an hour before or whatever. I'm up at 6. If I'm on a weekend, I'm up at 7 and I'm exercising straight away.
Awesome.
Yep. So I'm just getting, and the days where you don't feel motivated to do anything.
And you do it anyway.
Oh my goodness.
It's the best.
Today was like, it woke up, it was 1.6 degrees.
It was freezing. I went for a run this morning, just 2Ks. Yeah. And like, I didn't want to do it. My face hurt in the cold. But like when I finished it and then I sat and I had my breakfast slowly because normally I'm rushing eating my breakfast and I just enjoyed like eating my breakfast slowly this morning.
Yep.
Instantly, my day's better. Instantly, my day's
better.
Yeah,
I walked 5Ks this morning, and I was like, nice. Usually on Sundays I do 8 or 10. And I was like, this is 5. It's cold. It's whatever. No, I can do 5 today.
But you still showed up.
I still showed up. It was 1.6 degrees when I got out of the car. Walked by Riverside Gardens and Bayswater. Went back up and down. 5Ks done. And then I got caught up with my mate from Esperance. Came down. We went to Big Don's. We had a sausage roll. Chatted. Whatever. I'm here now. And then later on, I'm gonna park my friend's car at my friend's house in West Leedy. I'm gonna walk from West Leedy all the way to Optus Stadium.
Yeah, nice.
Because I'm just like, why not? It's sunny. It's great. It's only 6Ks.
With a mate.
Just take our time. We don't need to be at the game until 2:15. So take your time, just walk, enjoy what it is. But it's making joy of the small moments that's gonna make the biggest difference. You're not gonna set big goals and whatever. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna do big things and whatever. So I went to Sydney last week before. I said, I'm going to do the Coogee to Bondi, whatever walk that is. 10Ks, up, down, whatever. It's going to be so big, I'm going to do this. And in the end, I didn't do it because I just found I did the Bay Run. It was a smaller walk, 5-6Ks, whatever. Being consistent, walking through the suburbs in the inner west of Sydney. This is much better. I'm walking, I'm still being active. I'm enjoying the thing rather than setting this big unrealistic goal.
Don't put pressure on yourself.
You can't put pressure on yourself because if you keep putting pressure on yourself, then you're going to be actually more demotivated rather than motivated.
Well, then you're in it for the wrong reasons because It's got to be the healthy relationship.
Yeah. And you don't want to be like, I did this today and then post on the gram and get validation from other people. So, Joel's done this. It's so good. It's like, no. I share stuff either on my public or my private socials it's partly for accountability, right? I think all my friends are really supportive and like, are you doing this well? Are you doing that well? This is great, whatever. But for me, it's like my accountability. Did I go out today? Cool. Here's a photo of the sunset that happened when I walk or whatever. It's just for I don't care if people share or like it, but then the amount of friends have contacted me in the last 12 months and saying, I've been inspired to do this because of you. I've been inspired to do this because of you. I've been inspired to exercise because of you. I'm inspired to, go see my doctor because of you. And you don't realize, and I think the other thing is that you don't realize the impact you have on people. So for now, I think the thing is changed. It's like, I'm doing stuff for me, but I'm still taking care of those around me through the actions I'm doing. Rather than me actively going and say, hey, I'm going to do all these things to make you happy and whilst I be miserable at the same time. Now I'm doing all the things that make me happy and people are seeing that and say, oh, cool, I'm going to do these things that Joel's been doing. Oh, I'm going to ask Joel, how is he doing this or how's he doing that? And then they do their things and they become happy themselves.
How are you finding spreading yourself too thin now?
I think there's still an element of me that's still a people pleaser in a way, but there's still things that I love doing. But I'm not spreading myself thin as much as I used to be. I've set clear boundaries on what I can do, especially like helping run a career club and reducing the tasks I do. I was like, cool, I'm communicating clearly. I think communicating clearly is very important in making sure that you don't spread yourself too thin. So, hey, I'm doing X, Y, Z. That's all I'm doing, right? And people will understand rather than try to sort of. And I think one thing you forget to do, if you spread yourself too thin, you're going to be disappointing a lot of people as well.
Yeah, I've been talking about this too much on the podcast and to people at work. I'm literally like lending the book to everyone. But I've just read Essentialism by Greg McKeown. And it's the whole concept is like doing more to get more. I mean, not doing more, doing less to get more done. Prioritizing what's most important to you, what's going to move the needle so then you can excel and go so much further in the things you prioritize over spreading yourself so thin and getting nowhere. And the book's great. Like it's not even just about that. It breaks down that in order for that to happen, you need play. You need to be able to enjoy things in life. You need rest. You need to look after your body and get good quality sleep. And this is talking to like CEOs and this guy that wrote the book like does training with all like the company's world's biggest CEOs of companies. And like he'll go to them and say, like, you're the CEO, you're doing all this is great, but you're not sleeping 8 hours a night, you're going to burnout.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, even though you should, like, there's all the prioritizing and what you should be doing to focus fundamentally on a business to get the most output and be most efficient, like, you've also got to look after yourself. You've also got to be able to have time allocated to go and enjoy things, whether it's enjoying a long 6K walk to Optus Stadium before you watch the footy as opposed to rushing there to get there on time. Like,
that's it.
And I recommend it to anyone. Like it's the favorite book I've read.
Okay.
I've currently given it to someone here at work, and then there's like 2 more people waiting after for the same book. Like I'm really selling it. But yeah, Essentialism by Greg McKeown, and like, no, it's I've really taken on board. I probably finished it about a month ago. I've really taken on board a lot of the things I've read from it in terms of like I'll get to a weekend. I'll have finished my 40-hour week of work. Yeah. I've got all the podcast stuff I've done. I've got all the proactive stuff I'm doing with Max. And then it's just like, I've got time with my girlfriend. I don't have any time to myself. Because all my time to myself, I'm spending doing all of this other stuff. And I'll get to a Sunday night and it'll be 11:30 on a Sunday night. I got work the next day. Yeah. And I haven't even got everything I wanted to get done. And it's just like, what am I doing? You know, what am I prioritizing? So like it's making the conscious effort to then go, okay, from this time to this time, I'm going to get these tasks done, which are the most important tasks. All this other stuff isn't actually as important as my time to recharge on the weekend, my time to enjoy sitting there to actually read a book for 2 hours. Because I found reading before I go to bed's the best for my mental health and just in general for my sleep quality. And it's like, if I'm not even able to turn everything off at 7:30 at night to have like shower, brush my teeth, and read for half an hour before I go to bed or an hour before I go to bed, like, what am I doing? Yeah. Like, clearly what I'm, like, the task that I'm trying to cram in before I get that done, that's not more important than me having an hour to just kind of wind down, have some time to myself, read my book and go to bed and have a good night's sleep.
Yeah, and the question is you sit down and ask yourself, is it adding value to my life?
Net positive or net negative?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. I think the other thing I want to ask you, like with all the books you're reading, and I think like you're definitely heading in the right directions in so many things. Like from what I have known you to where you are now, your journey's been incredible.
Back from when I was an arrogant 18-year-old in your business classroom.
Do you find the more that you read confirms the stuff that you're doing well? Like you're probably not learning as new stuff as you were before, but it's more so a confirmation of I'm moving in the right direction. Or do you find you're still finding to learn new things here and there?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
I feel like everyone kind of knows what they should be doing.
Yeah.
They know what the right thing is. They've got that internal monologue that knows like this isn't right, or like just even morally when you do something, it's like, is this like the right thing to be doing as a person? Like I feel like you've got that internal monologue, but I've found a lot of the books I'm reading are non-fiction books like this or business books. And it's just like, I feel like it's just helping. It's not like the drive. It's not the driver in the car of my life. I'm in the driver, but it's like the navigation.
Yeah.
It's like it's helping guide me or direct me in the right direction, because like you can have all the right intentions and you can work as hard as you want, but if you're not working efficiently or using the right tools, you're never going to get anywhere. And this is also the essentialism concept. Like you could have a brick wall and you've got to take it down. You can bang your head against it 100 times and put all the effort into the world and really try to get it down, but your head's not going to break the brick wall. The brick wall is going to break your head. If you use a hammer or the right tools with the same effort or less effort, you can take down the wall.
Exactly.
So I'm kind of using the books as my tools to break down the wall. That's the best. That's the best way I can answer that question.
I think you hit the nail on the head there. No, that's awesome.
Hit the hammer on the wall there. But no, I appreciate that. And yeah, I don't know. I've also found that it just, if I end up going on my phone and going on socials before I go to sleep, there's all this blue light after you sleep. But like mentally, I just feel overwhelmed.
Yeah.
Like it's a double-edged sword, but I've come to like, I hate posting on Instagram. Like I have to for the podcast. I have to post clips and stories and stuff. But like I've got two phones, one for like all of that and one for my personal stuff.
Yeah, good.
I only have Instagram, TikTok on this one.
Yep, good.
So it's like, and I'll put it in the cupboard if I'm not posting for like socials, because I find I just get trapped doom scrolling and like even like all the dopamine stuff aside, like I just feel miserable. I feel overwhelmed. I feel like I'm not doing what I should be doing.
Yeah.
If I read for an hour before I go to bed, doesn't matter what I read, it just slows my brain down. It allows me to actually be present in what I'm doing. I enjoy the books I'm reading because I pick the books I'm reading, but it's more just like, for me, it's like a therapy almost, just like the process of sitting there for an hour before I go to sleep, everything's quiet. Maybe I'll have some classical music on in the background or something, not rap because like then I can't focus. But and just like page by page, really slowing down because it's go, go, go.
Yeah, 100%.
If I can get to the end of the day and slow down, not only do I sleep better, but mentally I'm better. And I always feel good after reading.
Yeah.
I never feel good after spending an hour on my phone, but I always feel good after reading. So I kind of use it as like a kind of like check-in for myself in a way.
Yeah, I think I feel the same way. I think for me now, I'm really prioritizing my 5 to 9. I guess, people talk about their 9 to 5. Mine's more sort of 5 to 9 because your 9 to 5 is where you get to build your livelihood. You got a job that I like. I do it well. Cool. That's it. But it's a job, right? Whether it'll be my vocation, I don't know. Let's see where life takes me moving forward. But my 5 to 9 is more important because it's where life actually really happens. So It's where you get to slow down. It's where you get to have more control. It's where you get to choose where you spend your time and who you spend your time with. So if you can build your quality of your 5 to 9, then everything else is going to work out quite well. So making sure, cool, I get home, I'm going to exercise straight away. Because for me, exercising straight away means that I can go out there, go and do my walk or do whatever, reflect on the day I've had, slow myself down and all that kind of thing. So once I slow myself down, it means that I can, go and have dinner, go see a friend, go sit down with mum and dad, watch The Chase and Channel 7, and think that I'm the best person at The Chase.
But that's the enjoyment
part. But that's it, exactly. And so if you don't have quality in your life, then everything becomes a blur. And then you go through the motions and it's...
This is the other thing I was talking about on my solo episode before because my guest didn't show up. Perception of time.
Yes.
The reason why time speeds up as you get older is because you're more in your routines. And
yes,
there's no
you're
new
doing the same things over and over again. That's
register.
it, yes.
Whereas when you're younger and you're experiencing new things, your brain registers it for the first time. So something that I've struggled with is like the last year, for example, I've been working here full time. I've been trying to grind out the pod. I've got this new setup going. I've been doing the stuff with Max. I have been so stuck in my routine, like any other spare time I have is either exercising or seeing my girlfriend. So I've just had no time for myself. I've been so stuck in my routine. The last year's gone by like that.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I need some spontaneity in my life.
Yes.
I need to, on a really busy night where I've got lots on, walk down to the Luna Palace Cinemas or whatever it's called at the bottom of my street. Yeah. Go see a movie I've been wanting to see, even though I've got all this other stuff on it. Like on a Friday night, on the night before I have a podcast, go out with a mate and have, even if I'm not drinking, just like a lime soda and a water, like, or whatever. Just like doing things to meet new people because life's not coming at you, it's coming from you. Yes. And all the relationships people make, all the business partners, the girlfriends, the best friends and stuff, they're all by like coincidences of going out and meeting each other, but you've got to create those coincidences in the first place.
They're not going to come to your couch.
Yeah, they're not going to be in my bedroom at my desk working hard away on like 9 p.m. on a Thursday night. No. So I'm trying to make the effort not only to be happy because it's like that whole trampoline thing I was talking about, but it's like enjoying my life and experiencing it properly. Yes. If I just get lost in my routine, I'm going to hit 30 and it's going to feel like tomorrow. I don't want that. I want to experience new stuff. Obviously, I want to work harder, understand work-life balance. I have goals I want to achieve and I know I can't not do that by just sitting on the couch and doing nothing every night. Like I've got to do things, but it's like I've also got to be able to enjoy time to myself, experiencing new things, meeting new people and doing that. Otherwise, I'm not going to actually grow as a person. So that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to like, I want to be able to experience my 20s more. I want to be more present. I want to be experiencing new things so it goes slower. And as much as I've got my routines, I also want to be having time to myself where I can just kind of hit fuck it and just go to the movies on a Wednesday night when I've got heaps of stuff going on. I'm fantasizing about it, but I got to do it.
No, you got to do it. That's exactly it. And so it's so hard because you're trying to have routine and you also don't want routine because you want spontaneity as well. But I think there's a way that life finds out getting balance. And is that if you're taking the base level care of yourself in terms of your sleep, your health, your food intake and stuff, I think it gives you the freedom to do all the other things that you need to do. If some of my friends tell me, you're always busy, you're always out, you're doing things. It's like, for me, I don't see it as being busy. It's like, these are experiences that I get to do. I'm living. I love going to the footy, by myself. I love going for walks. I'll go, when you asked me to do the pod, I was like, yeah, sure, because it's different. I'm doing something that's different. It's something that I enjoy doing and talking about it and stuff.
But then you don't have to live the what if.
That's it, and I think the biggest part for me, and I think the biggest what if I have, since doing all the work I'm doing since I've left hospital and all that, the whole thing that happened, my only what if is left. What if I tried harder in my cricket? I was talented. I was talented enough as a kid. I didn't really give it a great shot. Then teaching took over and then my health went to crap.
How old are you now?
35. So
mate, this time.
That's it. I said to myself, just me and Cam Green just batting together.
IPL at 40. LeBron's doing it.
I'm just like, I said to myself, I've got 5 years. I said first, because what I want to do, 5 years, I want to see how far I can get playing cricket, right? If I can, and my goal is to make our club's top side within 5 years, because that means I'll be at the same level as my brother. Both my brothers got to at that point. Obviously, my youngest brother played Wacker. He played WA second 11 before he stopped playing Premier Cricket, but it's more so, got 5 years, give him my best shot, then do umpiring. And then, because umpires, it can be 50 and be an international umpire. So, and that's it. So I could go and umpire.
What's the IPL umpire salary?
Oh, it's pretty good. I mean, if you end up being a test umpire and doing you become a test umpire, you get all the other good gigs.
I can see you as a test umpire.
You know, you get a couple 300K a year, get business class flights of Emirates, you know, it'd be pretty sweet. But I get to do a job that I'll be traveling. But, you know, it's a goal that I can do. It's something that I can practically achieve and work towards to while still maintaining a balance in my life. You know, I can still teach and start my umpiring career moving forward. But it means that it's something that I'm not going to be saying what if on my deathbed, you know? You know, and on top of things, it'd be nice to have a partner. It'd be awesome to have a partner, but I'm also like, it's not the be all and end all because I'm happy with what I've got right now and doing the things. It's like, you want things to continuously add value to your life, but also at the same time, you can't be in a journey for always searching for value, you know, because if you keep searching for value, you're going to just not let things happen and let them be, because sometimes it takes time for value to appear and grow. You've got to, you know, you've got to plant the seeds and water it and let all those things grow. So, you know, it's getting rid of the what if question. And I think that's my biggest driver right now in life, is getting rid of all the what ifs, that when I do eventually die and say to myself, have I achieved all the things I wanted to achieve? I can say yes and finish my life in peace.
Well, it's like when someone asks, how do you want to die? The answer is old.
Old, that's it. I don't want to say or whatever, but it's just when it's all said and done, and if I'm happy with everything, then great, you know, because I think the last thing you do is sort of having lingering regrets. And, you know, people say, oh, I don't regret anything I've done in my life. It's like, no, you don't lie. You always have, everyone has regrets. Some things we can't change those regrets, but we can learn from them and move on and start new things from them. So yeah, I think that's the driving force for where I want to be at the end, is knowing that I lived. That's it. And I'll be happy with that. Regardless what it is, I can say I lived and I've left a good footprint on society, and that's all I can do.
What do you think about the relationship between being comfortable with being uncomfortable?
I think it's a necessity. I think that's not, if you're not happy with if you can't sit with the discomfort of things in life, then you're not going to give yourself the capacity to grow. Because if you want to be perpetually comfortable, you're going to be living in your own bubble. You're going to do the same things over and again. Time's going to fly by very fast. And you're going to realize by the end of it, it's like, oh, I didn't get to do all these things. You have to sit with the uncomfortable to reflect on why it's uncomfortable, and then say, these are the actions that I can do now to make that less uncomfortable for me.
How much growth in the last year have you had from being uncomfortable doing things?
Oh, it's insane. I think, you know, going back and out there and walking and doing stuff and putting myself out there, meeting people, or going dating, or, you know, trying to even just like reaching out to friends I haven't heard from a while and just saying, hey, are you free to catch up or whatever. It feels like I end up doing something I think I end up doing something uncomfortable daily. And I look at myself now in terms of my progress and my growth. I think that sitting that uncomfortability, if that's a word, has made an immense impact on my life from there.
Awesome. The other thing I wanted to touch on is journaling. Do you do any of that?
I don't. And people have told me I should.
I was in the exact same shoes as you, my friend. In the exact same shoes. A bunch of people kept telling me I got to do it. And I was just like, I don't have the time. And they're like, well, no, you will choose to make the time.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, but like in my terms of what I'm prioritizing, is that a priority for me? And it's just like, in terms of reflection and growth and being present on your week to week, as opposed to getting to a Sunday and thinking, where's the week just gone? Guy that came on the podcast recently, Sam Marshall, who works here as well, was talking to me about it, because he's doing it twice a day now. He'll do it every morning, every night, and he's like reflecting on everything. And he's like, to him, it's changed his life. It's changed his relationship with his work. He's like all of that. And like in terms of workload and stress and everything, it's like been revolutionary for him. And then in the essentialism, I was reading it, and he's like, the author's like, I've journaled every day and made a commitment to do it every day for however many years. And he's like, what I really liked about what he said in the book is, I purposely made myself write really, really short, structured journaling every day. Yeah. So like I purposely would make it so that I'd be done straight away. Like I'd make it shorter than I was willing to write so that it would make it easier for me to do it every day. So what I've recently been doing is this 4-2-3-1 that I've made up, where I'll write down 4 thoughts I've had for the day. Like one sentence thought could be like, I enjoyed this, or I was unhappy about this, or whatever. then 3 things I'm grateful for. So like I'm grateful for my nan, like something like that. I'm grateful for my standing desk at work. It could be whatever, short as long, but not longer than a sentence. 2 life things that have happened today that are different to any other day. So it could be like yesterday, for example, I ate 3 cookies. And that's a whole nother side note. Don't even get me started, Joel.
Hopefully they'll not get chunky cookies because you'll be in a sugar coma after that.
No, they're a competitor. We recently out on Sweetly cookies. And no, I don't like it chunky.
Good quality? Sweetly?
Man, the if you're watching this, go eat a Sweetly cookie right now. They're the best.
Oh, I'll have to check it out.
Love it.
And there was one.
We had the owner on Kate.
Yeah. I saw that. Yeah.
Get the Dubai one.
I'm allergic to pistachios.
Get the carrot. Oh, I'm really excited to try the new cinnamon one.
Okay.
Cinnadream. It's like dream chocolate and cinnamon.
Does she have her own store?
They're stock listed.
Okay.
Like 17 wholesalers or 17 places.
Yeah.
And then they've also got online deliveries.
Okay.
Through a Shopify store.
Ooh, okay. So in your journaling, what's your 1? So you got your 4, 3, 2 and then your 1?
Manifestation.
Okay, cool.
So it's like my kind of goal in life. Like, and it's not a I will be, it's like I am. And if something that I'm not yet in like I am a future. Yeah. So like the 4, 3, 2, 1, it's half a page of like a little notebook.
Yeah.
I get it done in 5 minutes. I've been doing it for only 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I've already noticed like my week to week is better because of it. Like I can look back on my week and it's gone slower, which is what I want. I want to slow down. I want to enjoy the process. I don't want to just get to 30 and go, I've done all this great stuff, but I didn't enjoy any of it and I wasn't present for any of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right. I think I'll take it on.
Journaling. Well, you don't have to do what I've done. Like structure how the beauty of it is you can do whatever you want.
Yeah. No, that's good. I think I've got a couple of friends. My friend Cara, she's also another teacher. She's been very big on the journaling stuff and been a big help in my weight loss journey. We call, so what's one great thing that's happened since like the weight loss stuff or since I've started my journey, Cara will call me every Thursday morning at work. So she's on a drive to work to her school. I'm already at school and I make sure my life plan enough that I can take the phone call at 7:30 in the morning and we'll talk for 20 minutes. Okay, what's happening? What's great? What are you having trouble with? And we have that conversation with us. And it's great because knowing that there's something that's structured that you can reflect and talk about your week and realize after phone calls, like, okay, yeah, good. I feel better now. Yeah, no matter how good or bad, it's just like we talk to each other on the phone, we talk what's going on. Sweet, awesome. I'll talk to you next week.
That's friends growing together.
Yeah, that's it. And that's it. I think, and you got to, I was not saying what works for me works for you. You just got to find what works for you and it's going to go great from there.
All right. Well, one question I'm asking every guest or making the conscious effort to ask before we wrap up, because I know you got to get to the footy.
Yep.
How are we going for time? You got to get out of here.
Yeah, I think, probably soon. Yeah.
All right. It will be 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
All right, go on.
Tombstones.
Tombstones.
When everyone dies, they get a tombstone.
Oh, no.
And they get limited character space to put something on their tombstone and it has to epitomize that person in their life and you don't have any room for fluff. What would you want on your tombstone?
Oh my God.
Now we're getting authentic. Now we're getting deep on the Crooked Smile podcast.
All right. What do I want on my tombstone?
What would you write?
What would I write? Oh, this is tough because you got
to prioritize.
Yeah, I know. That's it. I mean,
what's essential?
What's essential is like, I don't know. I just want to say that he lived. That's it. He lived. That's all I want.
It's beautiful.
Like he lived.
It's beautiful. No, that's really good.
It's not like I'm not here to give a inspirational quote or something like that. It's like I want people to know that he lived because when someone comes and visit my tombstone, whether it be a friend or family member, that line will mean something different to each and every single person that comes past it. They'll reflect on that. Yeah, Joel did live, and then it will say to them, "Am I living? Am I doing the things that I want to do as well?" So, and I think now I'm in a position that I can say, yeah, I might have not achieved, if I somehow die tomorrow or whatever and say, I think now I'd be a point I'm mostly happy. Like, yeah, I might not have had a partner or didn't play top level cricket, but I was like, he still lived. I still got to travel. I still got to be a teacher and help influence so many people around me. I helped create a big giant community in terms of coin collecting in Australia. I've got a loving family. I've got a great bunch of friends around me. And I'm always out there doing something or being something or whatever. So I think to say on that tombstone is he lived, I think that's going to mean something to me in terms of, yep, cool. I'm happy where I've finished up, But also for other people, it's like, he lived, am I living?
Great answer. I love it. You had the bat. You had it. You might not have played cricket at the top level, but you still had a bat.
Had a bat, hit it over cow corner, 6 runs.
Awesome.
There you go.
Joel, thanks very much for coming on. This was great. Didn't even get into any of the history of money, but like honestly, this is one of my favorite episodes. I really enjoyed it, and like the future's only going to hold great things. I hope you continue to build this momentum that you're building, and I can't wait to have you on again and reflect back on even more momentum that you've made.
Awesome. Yeah, right back at you, Campbell. Thanks so much.
Awesome.
If you get lost, I press the rewind so you don't see now. I know I can tell that you a winner. I'm making key lime cause I was living in the backseat till you bagged me. All my niggas never playing games like we bad street. When she's talking, feel like poetry in motion, and I feel like I'm chosen. When she look at me, I'm getting lost up in that ocean. Everywhere in motion, they ain't got a notion. I wanna tell them you ain't